Welcome to the deep dive. We've got a whole stack of sources you sent over, all focused really on the Pi network.
Yeah, and specifically this big protocol upgrade they're rolling out.
Exactly. It feels like more than just an update, doesn't it? It's like a whole architectural shift, setting things up for that mainnet launch everyone's waiting for.
It really is foundational stuff.
So our mission today, basically, is to cut through all the chatter, you know, and get to the core takeaways from these sources about Protocol V23.
Mm-hmm.
We want to focus on how these powerful smart contracts plus new security stuff and all this community effort,
The hackathon, yeah.
how it's all coming together to build what they're calling this secure, user-friendly, and functional digital economy. It's a pretty big goal.
It is ambitious, definitely. And, the tech roadmap seems to match it. We've pulled out three main areas, like the nuggets you really need to know about.
Okay, what are they?
First, there's this clear pivot towards decentralized finance,
Yeah.
DeFi, right? Mostly through their new Pi decentralized exchange, the Pi DEX and liquidity pools.
I got DEX and LPs.
Got it. Second, we need to look at their KYC protocols.
Hmm.
Know your customer. They're pretty advanced, multi-layered, crucial for trust.
Essential, yeah. Can't build an economy without trust.
And third, how that big hackathon they just had is actually putting V23's power into real applications people can use.
So summing it all up then, if you're trying to track this project, what's the big picture finding from these sources?
I think our core finding has to be that V23 isn't just another patch. It's pivotal. It's where the network kind of stops just growing its user number.
And starts growing its actual usefulness.
Exactly. Scaling utility. And it's speeding up everything for that full mainnet launch.
Okay, let's dive right into that foundation then. Protocol V23. We hear the name a lot, but why is this upgrade so critical right now?
Well, the sources are pretty clear. It puts smart contracts right at the center of everything.
Infrastructure for dApps, basically.
Yeah, precisely. And what's really interesting is why it's so needed now. Before V23, yeah, they got millions of users, great success there.
Huge user base.
But the actual protocol, it just wasn't complex enough for real blockchain utility. The sources literally say, and this is pretty striking, that without V23, all current Pi apps are actually incomplete.
Incomplete. Wow. Okay, incomplete how? What was missing that only smart contracts can provide?
It really boils down to trustless automation. The old protocol was fine for sending tokens around, and that daily mining click.
Simple stuff.
Yeah, simple stuff, but it couldn't handle the complex logic you need for things like DeFi lending, automated escrows, complex swaps, or even decentralized voting. Smart contracts bring those more complex functions.
Which you absolutely need to go from just a mining app to a full DeFi world.
Exactly. It's the bridge.
And we know this isn't just sitting on a roadmap somewhere. It's active, happening now. The sources mention weekly meetings between the core team and developers.
Yeah, every week. That underlines the urgency, right? They need V23 implemented smoothly, but also, quickly.
That kind of constant chat suggests it's, a tricky transition, too.
Oh, undoubtedly complex. But the payoff, once V23 is stable, it's huge, almost immediate. It directly unlocks the PiB.
The decentralized exchange?
And the liquidity pools, the LPs, users get access straight away.
Which means, right off the bat, people can trade decentrally, earn rewards, all inside the Pi ecosystem.
Yep.
And that leads us straight into the next big piece,
Yeah.
the economic strategy, this focus on decentralization.
Exactly. V23 provides the rails, and now the network strategy is to funnel all the economic activity onto these internal decentralized tools. That's core to their future value.
So for listeners maybe more used to traditional crypto trading, this is where it differs from using a centralized exchange, a CEX.
Totally. In the past, if you wanted to trade your crypto or even just move it, you often had to send it off your wallet to a third party, like a Binance or a Coinbase.
Giving up custody, essentially.
Right. The huge shift V23 enables is that you don't have to send your Pi out to some external CEX. They're making it explicit. The PiDX and the internal liquidity funds, that's meant to be the first choice.
The primary place to trade and earn rewards.
That's the goal, to maximize your returns right there.
That sounds like a really smart way to keep value inside the ecosystem.
Mm-hmm.
But what makes their DX the actual first choice? What are the specific incentives compared to, say, bigger external exchanges?
It mainly comes down to control, probably lower fees, and the staking rewards. Keeping it all on-chain means you keep control of your keys, your tokens, you avoid the risks associated with CEXs getting hacked or freezing withdrawals,
Yeah, the self-custody aspect is big.
And crucially, the internal LPs, the liquidity pools, are set up to offer really good rewards if you provide liquidity. It directly strengthens their own economy.
So the expectation is this focus on internal solutions boosts demand for PiCoin itself.
That's the theory. More utility, more reasons to hold and use Pi within the network, leading to, hopefully, stronger long-term demand.
But does that create a risk? Like, if you incentivize internal activity so much, does it become a bit of a walled garden? Does it limit how external markets see or price Pi?
That's a valid point, a potential trade-off. The sources really stress that the priority right now is security and function first.
Get the house in order before opening all the doors.
Pretty much. Give users control, flexibility, avoid the risks, and, let's be honest, the regulatory headaches sometimes associated with external CEXs. Build a strong internal market first, ensure it's stable and secure, then worry about wider integration later.
Okay, that makes sense. So V23 is the tech infrastructure, DEX is the economic engine. But who's building the actual things people will use on this? That takes us to the community and that hackathon.
Absolutely. The hackathon numbers are, well, they're a really positive signal about the community's health and commitment.
Seriously impressive enthusiasm. The event got, what, 173 DApp submissions? That's a ton of potential new apps and services.
Huge influx, yeah. And they were competing for a pretty hefty prize pool, too, 160,000 pipe.
And it just wrapped up. Deadline was October 15th, so this is fresh innovation.
And that level of development activity really wouldn't have been feasible before V23. That's the connection.
Right.
The whole point of the hackathon, tied to the new protocol, was pushing developers beyond basic stuff, getting them to use those more complex functions smart contracts allow.
Leading to better apps in the end.
Hopefully, yeah. More robust, more features. Things like decentralized lending, maybe complex games, stuff that can actually attract mainstream users eventually.
And speaking of users, let's just quickly touch on how people get involved initially. It's still that simple model, isn't it?
Oh yeah, the sources remind us you still just press a button once a day. That starts your 24-hour mining session. Super simple.
Which is key for getting non-crypto people involved, right?
Right.
Lowering the barrier.
Absolutely. And you can boost your earnings by growing your network. Referrals, for instance, give you that 25% mining speed bump. It's built for viral growth.
Okay, covered the tech with V23, the economics with the DEX, the community with the hackathon. Now, the big one they keep stressing, especially for mainnet security. Digital trust.
Yeah, this is paramount. Security basically comes down to making sure every single user is a real, unique person.
Preventing bots, fake accounts, Sybil attacks.
Exactly, all the stuff that can wreck a decentralized economy, which is why they've put so much effort into their KYC system. It's not just a simple check.
This is where it gets really interesting technologically. The sources call it multi-layered, AI-driven. How does that actually work? What are the layers?
Okay, so layer 1 is kind of what you'd expect. Photo ID verification. You upload your government ID, passport, whatever. AI scans it, checks for authenticity.
Standard enough. What's layer 2?
Layer 2 is biometrics, a live facial recognition scan, plus a liveness check, making sure you're actually there, moving, not just holding up a photo.
Oh, okay. So AI document check plus a live biometric test. That is multi-layered. But, the second you say AI and facial recognition...
Privacy flags go up.
Yeah.
Instantly.
Yeah. How do they address that? They make a pretty bold claim about data control.
They do. It's critical to their messaging. They state pretty clearly that your personal data is encrypted and it's managed only by you, the user.
Exclusively by the user. How does that work if AI is processing it?
The claim is the AI does the verification processing, but doesn't store the raw biometric data long term. And the encrypted data itself is locked by your keys. So they argue no one else can access it, not even the core team.
That's a high bar they're setting for privacy alongside security, if they pull that off. But why is this level of ID check so vital, beyond just stopping bots?
It's about fostering that digital trust we mentioned. If you can't be sure you're dealing with real, verified people and transactions...
The whole system's value erodes, confidence collapses.
Precisely. This strict KYC ensures, or aims to ensure, that only verified humans are part of the economy, making it reliable.
And they're serious about enforcing it. There are penalties. You have to pass KYC after 30 mining sessions.
Right. Yeah, and if you mess up your registration, even by accident, the sources mention a hefty 20% penalty.
20%? Wow. Isn't there a risk that scares off genuine users who just make a typo? Especially newcomers.
That's the trade-off, isn't it? It's definitely harsh. But the network clearly sees it as essential right now. That penalty hammers home how seriously they take data integrity before mainnet.
Get it right? or face the consequences.
Seems to be the message. They're prioritizing a clean, secure launch over maybe maximum ease of entry at this specific stage.
Okay, so putting it all together, V23 gives the decentralized tools, the DEX gives the internal marketplace, and this advanced KYC locks down the user base.
Exactly. That's the combination they hope positions Pi as, yeah, transparent, secure, user-friendly. The focus has clearly shifted from just getting users
To making the system reliable and safe for mainnet.
That's it. It feels like they're really building the operational side now. So when you look back at everything, the V23 launch enabling these complex functions, then you see the hackathon proving the community can use those functions, plus these tightened KYC security layers. It really does feel like a significant moment for Pi.
A turning point.
Yeah, it highlights their commitment to, real decentralization, user control, but within a pretty sophisticated blockchain setup.
It's definitely a compelling picture they're painting of a future digital economy. Built on tech, built on community.
Yeah.
But as we wrap up this whole identity piece, it leaves us with a really interesting tension, doesn't it?
How so?
Well, think about it. The system relies on this advanced, multi-layered AI checking faces, checking IDs to grant access. Yet at the same time, the big promise is that you, the user, keep exclusive encrypted control over that very same personal data.
Right. The AI verifies, but you supposedly hold the keys.
So here's the thought to leave you with. When an algorithm is the gatekeeper to your participation in an economy, even if you technically control the encrypted data, are we really stepping into an era of true digital sovereignty? Or are we just changing who holds the master lock for our digital identity? Something to think about.
Definitely a key question for the future, finding that balance. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
We'll catch you on the next one.